Hello there, channel members, friends, and followers from around the world. This is Q8 Pilot, your host for tonight's show. And today, ladies and gentlemen, we are in beautiful Copenhagen. And the scenery that you're seeing here on the screen is that of Fly Tampa, available on the Sim Market Store. And you can always get the link through chat command !DEP for departure. And we also have Alpha India Group for AI traffic today. Beautiful rendition of Copenhagen. And before we begin prepping our flight, I want to welcome all of you on board this Norwegian flight service from Copenhagen to Norway, Oslo. Welcome, Badger. Welcome aboard, my friend. Thank you very much for being here this evening, and thank you for your continued support to the Q8 Pilot channel. We have with us also my very good and dear friend, Rand Cooley. Hello, Rand. Welcome aboard, my friend. Thank you for your support. Steve1927, welcome aboard. Ferdinand Froster from Thailand. Ferdinand, you'll be very pleased to know that our next flight is going to be from Bangkok to Phuket Island in Thailand, and we're going to be performing the flight aboard Nok Air. So stay tuned for that. It's a beautiful flight, beautiful country. MC Crewfish, hello, my friend. Welcome aboard. You won't forget the Zebo, the PMDG. Of course not. And we have also Stan. Hello, Stan. Welcome aboard. Thank you for your continued support, my friend. Really appreciate it. Thanks for being here this evening, and thank you for all the support that you've been given out to the channel. Really appreciate it. Chris Walker, welcome aboard. Thank you very much for being here this evening. And ladies and gentlemen, today we are going to be flying for the very first time here on the Q8 Pilot channel, the PMDG 737-800. Jacob, welcome aboard, my friend. Hello to you. And this aircraft has been highly anticipated. I think most of the PMDG and the 737 lovers prefer the 738 over all other variants of the aircraft. And so today we're going to be taking a first look at this aircraft. I hope you guys are enjoying really this beautiful scenery of Copenhagen. Again, very, very nice rendition by Fly Tampa. And let's go ahead and go to our position here. And this is the Norwegian flight today that we're going to look at, ladies and gentlemen, the Boeing 737-800 by PMDG. Beautiful aircraft, and of course with the fidelity that you expect from PMDG, really a beautiful and quite sophisticated rendition of the 737. And of course, PMDG are very well known for creating very high fidelity aircraft. And this one, ladies and gentlemen, is no different. This is the 737 in all its might. And this is the 800 version that everyone has been really anticipating. So we're going to be taking the aircraft today from a cold and dark state. I'm not sure if we're going to use GSX today, just in the interest of time. Thank you very much, Rand. Appreciate it. But if you guys want me to use GSX, again, I'm more than happy to do so. Just let me know in chat if you'd like me to do the full boarding and refueling, catering, all that good stuff. But I flew, now I have the entire range of the PMDG 737 for Microsoft Flight Simulator. And I must say that my absolute favorite is the baby Boeing, is the 736. Is the one I enjoy the most. I just like the way it looks, I guess, but they are all, in terms of the fidelity, just look at the engines and the texture detail. The actual 3D model is really an authentic replica of the 737, and everything by PMDG, of course, is top-notch. And I, again, will say, without a shadow of a doubt, that the PMDG 737 is the single most sophisticated add-on available for Microsoft Flight Simulator today. And in my view, it is still #1 add-on. I don't think that anything competes with it at this point in time. And yeah, I stand by my original rating that this is the #1 add-on for Microsoft Flight Simulator. Not just the fidelity of the aircraft, not just the depth of system simulation, but PMDG is a company that you really can count on for updates, fixes, and releases as well. So I think in terms of the support, in terms of the updates, everything has been just really wonderful from PMDG. They really provide an overall excellent experience for us flight simmers in the sim. And we so far have had 3 releases from PMDG, or actually 4 releases with the DC-6, and they are all very high fidelity aircraft. So yeah, so today we are going to be taking a look at this beautiful aircraft, and we are currently situated at stand Alpha 14 or Alpha 14. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start the battery here, and we're going to turn on the external power. And also, ladies and gentlemen, today I have utmost pleasure of announcing that Sim Toolkit Pro version 1 has finally been released. We're going to be doing the flight planning today together here on stream so that you get a glimpse of what it has. I've done a very detailed one on the RC version 0.9.0, but version 1 has been released, and it's actually very, very good. Adam 1740. We are at your home airport. What a wonderful thing. Yeah. All right. So the first thing, guys, we're going to head over here to the FMC. Actually, before we do that, because I don't have any weight and balance information right now, so I'm going to bring up Sim Toolkit Pro. And this is the new interface of Sim Toolkit Pro. You've probably seen this in my preview of the RC090. But here's what we're going to do. There are multiple ways you can do flight planning, but if you click on flight plan, you can simply go to departure and arrival. And let me just very quickly show you this. So we are at Echo Kilo. All right, so it's Echo Kilo Charlie Hotel. So that automatically shows Copenhagen. And the arrival today is Echo November Golf Mike, which is Oslo Airport. As you can see now, it shows the total distance, 279 nautical miles, approximately 1 hour. It's actually less than that, about 40 minutes. And simulation flow, thank you very much. Just super chatted.
Love your content, Q8. Any thought on Explain 12?
Simulation Flow, thank you very much for your generous donation. I will be providing you with my thoughts on Explain 12 as we begin to taxi. And yeah, I do have a few things I do want to say. So if we go next, now we have all the aircraft that are available in my fleet. And we can simply type in Lima November Golf Mike, which is the 738. This is a real-world registered Norwegian 738. So we're going to select it. Now we can put the flight number. I know that 941 is the real flight route, so we're just going to go ahead and do that here. 941 is the real-world flight for Norwegian from Kastrup to Oslo, and we're simply going to go next. And with that, it, of course, is going to launch SimBrief. And I love the fact that how this integrates with the SimBrief. As you can see here, this is version 1.0.0. And now we have the flight plan done. Now, we're going to go and say fly now. And we're going to connect this to Microsoft Flight Simulator. Now, here's what I want to show you guys. By the way, you can now take screenshots and they will appear along your flight path at exactly where you've taken the screenshot. 44 minutes today for Oslo. But if you click here, this is something I absolutely love in Sim Toolkit Pro. As you can see, we have the departure and the arrival airports. You have all the taxi information, the current load of the aircraft, all the radio frequencies. You have the weather information, and you have the same for your arrival as well into Oslo. We have the transition altitude, you know, all the information that we need, the elevation, slope of the runway, everything you need is available here. Then, not only that, but from this menu, you have the operation flight plan. You can immediately click for charts and maps, scratchpad, all your waypoints. You can also go to the departure charts, and this is provided by ChartFox. You can donate if you like, but you have all the charts here as well, and they are provided free of charge. So this is actually a donation, and this is actually really, really good. This version of Sim Toolkit Pro is absolutely amazing. So we have all the information that we need here. We're going to scroll down to our fuel or payload information. Passengers 165, cargo 9.6, payload 38.5, zero fuel 130.3, and we have fuel 12.1. Total operating weight is 142,000. And we are looking here pretty good in terms of our flight plan. So we're going to go ahead and start loading the information into the aircraft. I do have a custom state for this PMDG, which actually turns everything off with the exception of the GPU. So first, let's go to the fuel, and we're going to put the fuel here. Let me just move this away. All right. So the fuel today is 12,100. So 12,100 pounds of fuel. And that is now entered. We're going to go to return. We're going to go to the payload. And suffice it to say that we just need to enter the zero fuel, which is 130.3. 130.3 is entered right here. And that will automatically put in all the passengers in first class, economy, and also assign our forward and after cargo. And now we can go to return. Everything here is set. We're going to go to the ground services, and the ground power, as you can see, is active. We are going to come down here and set our brakes. All right, brakes are set. And now we can begin with the preparation checklist, if you will. Let's cancel the master caution, and we can go to, let's see here. All right, so first let's perform our checks real quick, and we're going to test oxygen is tested 100%, and we're going to perform the APU fire test before we start the APU. All right, and the cargo fire test as well. All right, tests are good, and we can also test the lights here real quick. There we go. And let me just turn this, let me see here. I'm going to turn on performance mode. All right. All right, so all is good here. And now we can jump into the overhead panel. Let's go to up here. Max speed warning test is tested. Stall number 1. Number 2 tested. Flaps and slats test is tested, and we're going to set this to STS, and we're going to set the align to nav mode. Excellent. Back to the overhead panel, and we're going to turn on the yaw damper. We're going to turn on the aft left fuel pump, and again, the flows are left to right, top to bottom. So we're going to come here and make sure everything is good here. This is now on, let's see, we are on ground power, so we'll leave that on ground power. Everything else looks good here, everything's good here, and we're going to arm the emergency lights. We're going to turn on the fasten seatbelt and non-smoking signs on, and we're going to turn on the window heat. Window heat is turned on. We're going to turn on the hydraulics. Engine bleeds can remain off, and trim air is on. Recirc fans are on. We're going to put the packs on auto, and isolation valve can go to the open position, and everything else here is good. The final cruise altitude for our flight today is, let's see here. Final cruise altitude for the flight today, ladies and gentlemen, is 36,000 feet. So we're going to set the pressure here to 36,000 feet. All right, 36,000 is now set. Excellent. And the lights on steady. All right, everything looks good here. And now we can actually come here and set our MCP altitude to 36,000 feet as well. All right, 36,000 is set. And we're looking good. All right. Now we can go and set the FMC. So let's see here. We're going to go return, and we're going to go to the FMC. We're going to delete that, and let's go position in it. We are at Echo Kilo Charlie Hotel. And we're going to go to the next page, grab the GPS position, stick it here, and then go to the route. And we're going to select the origin, and of course, the destination is Echo November Golf Mike. And the flight number today is NAX 941. And now we can go to the departure. And today, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be departing runway 04 right through the VDAR 3 Alpha departure. And we have with us Radia LP. Welcome aboard. Managed the crack the 737. All right. So we are departing runway 04 right through the Veda 3 Alpha departure. Then we're going to go to the routes page, and we're going to go to next. As you can see, the VDAR transition. And then we're going to take Lima 997. And we're going to exit at Risma. Risma is set. And then we're going to fly direct to Sabak. Sabak, direct. That's the first waypoint. And then from Sabak, we're going to take Lima 997 airway and exit the airway at Lunep. Lunep. Excellent. And from Lunep, it would be our star into Oslo through the Lunep 4 Mike. And we're going to be performing ILS runway 19 left today at Oslo. Brian Crawley, welcome aboard, my friend. I like Airbus and Boeing, but the Boeing is more interesting to manage and fly. Absolutely, Brian. I shared the same thought. All right, let's go ahead and activate that. Departure, arrival. And so the arrival is going to be through the Luni 4 Mike, which is this one here. Luni 4 Mike. So we're going to select that, and we're going to select ILS 19 right, or 19 left, beg your pardon. Previous page, ILS 19 right. And it's going to be through the Titla transition. And we're going to execute that. Let's go to the next page. And we can now go to, let's see here. Let's go to plan. And we're just going to go cycle through our plan here to make sure there are no discontinuities or any problems with our flight plan as we depart Copenhagen. Everything looks good to me. And that's our approach. Perfect. All right, so all is good. We're going to set this back to map. And now is a good time to start the APU. Right, APU starting, and back to our FMC. All right, and now we can go to the performance page. We're going to click here and get the zero fuel, which is 130.3. Automatically sets the gross weight and cruise CG for our flight. And the reserves today for our flight is the alternates plus the final reserve, alternate and final reserve. That's 2 and 2 to about 4.3. So 4.3. And the cost index is 5. Final cruise altitude is 36, flight level 360. The cruise wind is, let's see here. Cruise wind is 30133, 30, we'll fix that in a minute, 30133. And the standard deviation, ESA standard deviation is 1. All right. And unable Lunap. All right, so let's do this. Let's go to our flight plan real quick. And Lunap, where's Lunap? All right, so it says it cannot do 250. And the speed there is 220. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to say 220. And we're going to add it here. And execute that. And 220 as well here. Execute. All right, that's cool. And we shouldn't get that message anymore. And let's see, we've got with us SK Sun. You should be inserting the top of climb temperature, not the ESA deviation. Oh, is it? Oh, that's right. It doesn't have the ESA here in there, does it? Yeah, I think you are right. All right. Everything looks good here. So let's see. The top of climb temperature is... all right, so that's 20. All right. And the transition altitude is 7,000 feet in, according to, no, actually it's 5,000 in Copenhagen. 5,000. And that is done. Right, execute, go to the N1 limit. We'll derate our takeoff. And let's go here and we're going to do flaps 5 for departure. Center of gravity 25.3, that gives us a 4.85 trim. And a V1 of 137, V rotate 138, and V2 of 147. All right, so we're going to set this to 147. 147 is now set. We're going to turn on the flight directors on both sides. And everything here is set. We're going to set the auto brake to rejected takeoff. And we have now the APU. All right, let's go to APU power. APU bleed is on. And we can turn on the left back on high. And we are pretty much now ready to go, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to turn on the anti-collision lights. All right, anti-collision light is set. The altimeter is set to 1022. And we are pretty much ready to go. All right. So just a quick look here at the outside. And we can go to the FS actions. And we're going to go to the ground services. Now we can release the ground power. And we can remove the chocks. We're going to return and go to climb. Actually, we can go to the FMC. From the FMC, we go to the climb page. And perfect. All right, let's go ahead and call GSX. GSX isn't running yet. So now we'll just start GSX. And to perform the pushback, very nice rendition of the airport by Fly Tampa. Airport cache loaded successfully. All right, perfect. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to use the pushback to push out of our position. And let's see here. Prepare for pushback and departure. Departure clearance requested. We're going to use, what do you want to use? Let's use SAS. And do you want to request pushback? Yeah. All right, here is the ground crew coming to the aircraft to push back.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
Excellent. What a beautiful looking airport by Fly Tampa.
Departure check completed. Bypass pin inserted. Locking gear.
All right, gear is being locked. All right, so what we're gonna do, facing east, standard push. All right, let's do that.
Release parking brakes.
All right.
Commencing push. All engines clear. Start at wheel.
All right, let's turn on the fuel pumps and packs to the off position. And we're gonna start with engine number 2. There we go. Just that wing flex there. Beautiful. Right, fuel for engine number 2. Well, looks like GSX still needs a little bit of work, but overall I'm pretty happy with what it does. Right, looks like we have a good start on the first engine. And we can come up here. We can turn on the pack, put the isolation
Set
valve
parking brakes.
close position, and all right, let's set the parking brake. Parking brake is
Waiting
set.
your confirmation for good engine start.
And we can start now the engine number 1. And in the meantime, let's tell GSX that we have a good start.
Cockpit to ground. We have a good engine start. You can disconnect.
All right, and we're going to watch the engine number 1 spooling. Let's go ahead and put the TCAS on TARA. Excellent. Speed check. Welcome aboard, my friend. Glad to have you here with us. All right, and we can fuel for engine number 1.
Unlocking gear.
Yeah, it kind of put us there on the grass, but that's all right. Blame it on the pushback truck. It is almost takeoff time indeed.
Tow truck disconnected. Bypass pin removed. Left is clear. Right is clear.
All right, it looks like we have a good start on both engines. Let's go ahead and take a look here at the overhead panel. All right, so all the fuels are good. Fuel pumps are okay. We're going to put this on the generators now. Off the APU. Engine mode selector to continuous. All right, and probe heat is on. The packs to auto. Auto. Isolation valve to auto. And we can turn on the engine bleeds. APU bleed goes off. And the APU can go off as well. Runway turn-off lights and taxi lights are on, and we are good to go. All right, let's go ahead and call the pushback truck, because I'm very unfamiliar with this airport. So we want runway 04 04 left, 04 right, beg your pardon. All right, so 04 right, and follow me. Yes, we're going to call for the follow me truck, and the follow me vehicle is now on its way to us, and everything's looking good. Let's set our flaps, or flaps 5 in the meantime, and we can also set our trim. I think our trim is set. There we go, that's about right. Woo, look at this guy. Follow me has arrived, and we can release the parking brake and head over to the runway. All right, let's give it some power. And we're just gonna follow the car there to the runway. Are you guys noticing any stuttering on the video, on the footage? Rand, all right, thanks Rand, appreciate it. Thank you, Carl. Hey, Carl, welcome aboard, my friend. Glad to have you with us this evening, and thank you very much for your support. Thanks, Brian. Appreciate it. Woo! That guy just landed there. All right, let me just slow down here. Let's look to the left. Right. All right, we are good. Let's proceed. Should be an interesting flight into Oslo today, and it looks like an alpha release of X-Plane was leaked somehow, and there has been some footage of X-Plane 12 alpha on YouTube. And there are a few things I will say about this once we're airborne. And by the way, guys, I have been seeing a lot of videos on you know, what to expect in X-Plane 12, and you know, people just showing kind of footage and talking about the sim, and that is okay, but I'm going to tell you guys, that's not my cup of tea. I don't do those kind of videos, and unless it is from the official developer, I don't actually enjoy watching those videos. And for one reason, your experience is going to be a lot different when you actually experience the sim yourself. And in a lot of cases, they are showcasing things that are already seen by the community and just giving you, you know, their thoughts on what they think the sim is going to offer. To me, those videos are really of no value, to be very honest. And so I don't do those videos. I know they're good clickbaits, and you know, people that do this, you know, they just, when you see the title X-Plane 12, or you know, something that hasn't released yet, you know, then you know, you're going to jump and you're going to go and take a look at that, and it really helped, you know, increase views and subs for a lot of the channels. It's just not something that I'd like to do, because the experience once the final product is released is going to be different, and so I don't like to do these videos, just because I've been receiving a lot of questions. Why don't you do a video on X-Plane 12? You know, and the thing is, it's too early. Once it is released, believe me, I will cover a lot. I think you're heading towards 04 right. That is exactly right, Adam. Looks like you are very familiar with this airport. That's exactly what we're heading. Runway 04 right for our departure today. And what a lovely rendition by Fly Tampa of Copenhagen, or Kastrup Airport, the home of our good friend Adam 1740 and my very good longtime friend Thomas Rasmussen, who is, you know, an ex-flight sim YouTuber. And by the way, he is still on YouTube. He's running a gaming channel with his family, his wife and 2 daughters, which was very nice to see. It was really very, very heartwarming to see him, you know, doing all these videos with his daughters and his wife. They do all kinds of things, you know, they play games for kids and they do coloring and things like that. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I really wish him all the best. All right. Right. We're getting closer to the runway here. Theodore, hello my friend, nice to see you in my country, Denmark. Absolutely. My family was actually recently in Denmark. My wife and kids, they were in Denmark about a month ago, less than about 3 weeks ago. They were in Denmark. They did kind of a European tour. They started the tour in Newcastle, UK. Then they headed to Switzerland, and from Switzerland they headed over to Denmark. From Denmark, they went to Spain, and from Spain, heading back to Newcastle in the UK. And then from there, of course, they came back home, which I'm kind of very glad they are back home. And here we are, ladies and gentlemen, at runway 04 right. Let's turn on the landing lights, and strobe lights can go on as well. And what a beautiful airport, beautiful rendition by Flight Temp. Just look at all the signage, the lights, everything has been done very, very well in this airport. All right, let's arm the auto throttle, and we are now ready for departure here at runway 04 right. All right, and let's see here. We're going to start the clock. All right, we're going to take this to 40%. Stable. Toga. Checked.
Rotate.
Rotate.
Positive rate of climb.
Gears going up. And we're going to begin our turn. And VNAV. Flaps 1. What a beautiful departure. LNAV. I got carried away there with the turn. All right. Speed check, flaps up. Auto brake off. Landing gear to the off position. And engine to the off position as well. Continue our climb. Speed is good. Autopilot 1 is engaged. And here is a beautiful wing view for you guys. Just look at that, ladies and gentlemen. What a beautiful sight of the PMDG Boeing 737-800. Right, we continue our climb. Barrel reference set to standard. Oh, it's looking good. So yeah, correct, Adam. The local time, I've changed the local time a little bit, so it's not live today, and because I didn't want to fly in complete darkness, so I've set the clock back a little bit. But we are flying in real weather. We can always switch to, real time, but just we would miss the beautiful rendition of Castrop by Fly Tampa during nighttime. All right, we're approaching 10,000 feet. Landing lights are off. Runway turn-off lights are off. Taxi lights are off. And everything else here remains the same. If we look here at the overhead panel, everything looks okay to me. We're going to put this on auto, and we're going to release cabin crew so they can start servicing our passengers. And we're going to set this here. Let's set this to the climb. And we're going to have traffic and the terrain as well. And everything now is looking pretty good. And we are on our way to Oslo, ladies and gentlemen. All right. So a couple of things I'd like to share with you guys. First of all, on X-Plane 12. The footage that maybe you have seen of the time-lapse, the guy who's had access to a leaked X-Plane 12 Alpha, is not representative of the final version. It's not even the beta, so it does not really it isn't representative of what the final product is going to look like. So please don't feel underwhelmed that it doesn't look good or anything like that, because the final product is still not out there. That's number one. Number two, normally when I see those videos, I see them with a grain of salt, because first of all, it depends a lot on the specs of the machine where this is being recorded. And so maybe the guy who's done this does not have a machine that is capable of of really bringing what the sim can do, or how it actually looks, or he could be just intentionally putting the the settings at much lower setting. There are a lot of things that can go wrong in videos like this. That's number one. And number two, when something is in alpha or even in beta, it is subject to change. A lot of things, and the team at Laminar are working around the clock to iron out all the issues before it is actually released to the public. So, and there has been no announcement from Laminar Research that that an embargo being lifted and some of their testers are able to stream. So whatever you see is unofficial, and so do not get don't get disappointed if you see something you don't like. God, this is a really beautiful sight of Denmark. Look at that. Just lovely. And we continue our climb now. So that's in terms of X-Plane 12. Now I do want to show you one thing in Sim Toolkit Pro is when you go now to the flight summary. So now we have departed Denmark here. And by the way, you can also always click on your plan. Just really, it's got the real airline operations. So you can actually go and select real routes. Maybe we'll take a look at this once we land. But what I do want to show you is if you now let's say that we want to, we'll just look this way here, and let's go ahead and capture the screen. So I've captured the screenshot. All right, and now the screenshot has been uploaded to. Let me show you here. So now you'll see that at exactly the location where we were, the screenshot has been uploaded. See that? How cool is that? So now you actually can save all the screenshots in your, you can save all the screenshot along the path, and you can do this limitless number of times in Sim Toolkit Pro in the recent version. Again, I've pinned the message here with the link for Sim Toolkit Pro, guys. And in my view, it is still the best electronic flight bag that you can see here on for flight simulation. Is number one. The 10-hour time lapse I saw was on the official X-Plane YouTube channel. Oh, okay. Well, I still think that. I haven't seen it on the official channel, so I don't know that it was officially released by Laminar Research. But it's just give it time, guys. Give Laminar Research some time to release the final product. And I've seen some screenshots and short videos from a friend of mine who is a tester, and I'll tell you, I'm amazed at what I have seen. Now, visual fidelity has never been a thing for Laminar Research, and they actually never advertised this as one of the strong points of the simulator. So let's just wait and see when the product is officially released. Then we can probably take a look. Adam says, "Lul, how much does your PC cost?" Well, this PC's been there for some time now, so, but if I recall correctly, it cost about $3,500, I think, at the time. And it could have cost a lot more had it been a brand, but this is something that I purchased on my own, so I purchased all the parts myself and assembled the PC at home. And this is what I'm doing also with my current build. I'm purchasing everything on my own, and I'm building a new PC. It's been a while since I've had time to actually work on the build, but yeah, I do have a new build in progress. All right, let me just check. Hey Q8, how are you? Where is on the livery competition results? Sorry for asking in advance. Oh, Federico, so the livery competition, unfortunately, wasn't a very successful competition, simply because there hasn't been enough entries. But the guy who's actually created just in appreciation of his efforts, I contacted the guy who created the best livery, and I sent him the prize, but I didn't make any announcements as such, simply because there hasn't been enough to show you guys. All right, let's see here. I'm just checking one thing for you guys real quick. So, yeah. All right. King of Turkey, welcome aboard, my friend. Glad to have you with us. All right, so we continue the climb now, and this is a beautiful sight of the PMDG 738. 6,000 to go. Has your GSX taken much setting up? No, Brian, actually it has not taken any, it hasn't really taken up time to set up at all. I think the initial download was a bit long, but it's pretty much automatic, so I don't really have to do anything. I just put it there. I think it took about 15 minutes to download everything, and it was all good. Captain Baku, or Bako, right? Captain Bako. Is that in Azerbaijan? I think that's what it is. So welcome aboard, my friend. Thank you for being a subscriber here at the channel, and welcome aboard. There is a 6-minute video that shows a compressed look at AI flying for hours, never crashed, flew well. That's all that video is about. Yes, Azerbaijan, welcome aboard, my friend. Thank you very much, Carl, for that. I appreciate it. So basically, the 787 by PMDG is just an excellent aircraft, unable cruise altitude. Huh? Why is that? All right, 34.7. All right, so let's come here to cruise. So we're going to change this to 340. Execute. And we're going to come down here, change that to 34. Right? No worries at all. Perfect. It's a very short flight to Oslo, and we should be at our final cruise altitude of 34,000 feet now, in about 6 nautical miles. Super Grumpy says, hello, I have a question about vertical navigation 737. In which case do you normally use VS, flight, level change, or alt? Alright, so normally if you want to intervene, so when you are in LNAV mode and the aircraft is going to take care of the lateral navigation, so this is vertical and lateral navigation, and those are now automated by the flight management computer, or the FMC. But there are cases where you will need to, for example, if you get an ATC instruction to drop to flight level, 300, or maybe you need to climb, then you can simply click on level change and it will automatically fly to to the desired altitude. Vertical speed normally is something I use personally when I want to also manipulate the speed of the aircraft. So I use vertical speed to descend at a predetermined foot per minute or feet per minute. That's when I use it. Normally I use this when I know, for example, that I'm not going to make it, that I need to increase my rate of descent considerably in order to make it to a certain altitude for my approach. Then I normally use vertical speed. So that's normally how I use them. Rashid Yassin, hello my friend, welcome aboard. And as a reminder, guys, the Q8 Pilot channel is an INI Builds official partner. Be sure to give them a visit and look over their store. They have a nice heliport for the Los Angeles Police Department, and it proves to be really a very nice heliport. I tried it with the H-145 Airbus helicopter, and it's really a fun heliport to fly in and out of, especially if you want to patrol the city of Los Angeles in California. Then it really is. It provides a really nice experience. Very nice looking, heliport with and optimized for performance. And you can see all the Los Angeles police cars and the tow trucks on the roof. And yeah, I recommend that you, if you're a helicopter lover, then I definitely recommend that you take a look at their heliport. All right, so it looks like there is some traffic here around us, as you can see, and we have the terrain map as well. We are now looking very good, and we should begin our top of descent. Let's see here. Let's go to climb, actually cruise, and top of descent is in 77 nautical miles, so not too far from this point. And so I'm going to go to the initial reference. We're going to set the ILS frequency to 110.55, and we can set that here, 110.55, and set it to the active frequency. And we'll do the same thing here, 110.55, and set it to the active frequency. The approach course today is 192, and so we can set that here, 192, 192, and 192. All right, 192 is set on both sides, and we're going to set our flaps as well for our arrival. So we're going to do flaps 30 and 151 for the approach speed, 151, and we stick that here, legs page, and now we have the VREF speed here, 151, 30 flaps 30 is set, and all is good. Perfect. There's a wing view. Is it live or recorded? Well, this is a live stream coming to you from the state of Kuwait. Looks like it's a bit cloudy at our destination in Oslo. Let's take a quick look at the weather at our destination. So this is our friendly Sim Toolkit Pro. There we go. That's the screenshot we took. Brilliant. And that's us right there, continuing the cruise into Oslo. So if we look here at the weather information at Oslo, and we look here, we have 230 degree 3-knot wind, few clouds at 3,000, broken at our 300, so I believe that's 300, and broken at 900. Current temperature is 12 degrees Celsius. Oh, it's kind of cool there. And QNH 1023, no significant change in the next couple of hours. So it should be a nice approach into Oslo. Shouldn't be really a problem. Right, and here is looks, yeah, it's definitely going to be cloudy, but it shouldn't be a problem. God, I love Sim Toolkit Pro. Just this new version is fantastic. Just absolutely. But by the way, you can do also VFR flight planning in this version. That would be Sim Toolkit Pro, and you can find the link to it. I've pinned it in the chat message. You can just expand the chat message, the pinned chat message, and click the link to download Sim Toolkit Pro version 1.0, which is, in my view, the very best electronic flight bag available today for flight simulation, and it's completely free of charge. All right, that's us right there. That's Gothenburg. And we continue now. This is our top of descent. 23 minutes for our arrival into Oslo. and all is looking good. Perfect. I uninstalled SimToolkit Pro after I saw it was eating more of my CPU than X-Plane and MSFS did. Just check out this latest version, version 1. I believe all the issues have been fixed. I don't see any degradation in performance now with either X-Plane or Microsoft Flight Simulator. I did have some issues with the beta version. I want to use SimToolkit Pro over the network. Yeah, you can definitely do that. Can I take how many screenshots as I want? Yeah, you can take as many screenshots as you like, and those will be automatically saved and uploaded along your flight path, and you can always go back to them and view them. What is your thought on OERK payware for X-Plane 11 and 12? I believe I'm not sure. I've had this airport. I can't remember. Was it Time Models that developed it? I can't recall who developed it, but I think it was okay of an airport. I like the scenery by Time Models. I think they create good scenery overall. So here's a look at the outside here. What beautiful scenery. What a beautiful view of Microsoft Flight Simulator in the PMDG 737-800. Just look at the terrain there beneath us and the clouds to our right. Just a really beautiful looking scene here. I think no simulator is going to compete with MSFS in terms of the fidelity of the scenery, but flight model, I don't know. I think they've got to work on the flight model, and the ground handling is especially annoying in Microsoft Flight Simulator. It needs a lot of work. No, that's OEGN. Oh, I'm developing OERK Riyadh Airport for X-Plane. The last guy who made Riyadh was Emery Project. Oh. I haven't seen it then. If you'd like me to take a look at the scenery, I'll be more than happy to do that. In fact, I am planning a flight in probably that region for my birthday stream coming very soon on the channel. And there is going to be a giveaway as well on my birthday stream. But yeah. I'll be more than happy to take a look at it. My birthday is going to be on the 25th of this month. So we are about 22 days away from my birthday. And on my birthday, I am going to be running a special giveaway. Amazing. Before it gets released, how can I get in touch with you so you can be a beta tester? Well, Captain Bako, you can always contact me anytime at info@q8pilot.com. info@q8pilot.com. Etched Memories. Hey, Q8 Pilot, long time since I've been here. Very busy at work. Regards, Brett. Hey, welcome aboard, my friend. Glad to have you. I'll be in Portugal for my birthday. Well, happy birthday in advance to you, my friend. And as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, we are now approaching the top of descent here in 21 nautical miles. So I'm going to head over to the FMC. And we're going to go to the next page, and we're going to reset the MCP altitude to 35,000 feet. 3,500 is set. And hopefully we won't forget to start recording the approach once we are closer to... My 50th birthday is on the 19th. Oh, really? Oh, you're a September dude. That's cool. Yeah. Special things for the September guys. By the way, as a child, my my childhood hero was Christopher Reeve. And for those of you who do not know who Christopher Reeve is, he is the main superstar in the Superman movies. I'm not talking about the new Superman movies, but the good old Superman movies, the Superman movies. Of course, he did, I think, for Superman the movie, and Superman 2, Superman 3, and then Superman 4. And unfortunately, Christopher Reeve died after a long battle with a disease. And it was very unfortunate what has happened to him. But throughout his life, his legacy, he has proven to really be a Superman in real life, rather than just in the movie. But he happens to be my childhood hero. And Christopher Reeve was actually born on September the 25th, which is exactly my birthday. And it came to me as a surprise. But he's been always, like a role model in a man that shows tenacity, shows patience, shows perseverance, shows hope, and shows also that there is so much good that can be done in this world. And he was a man of just formidable accomplishments in his life, both as an actor and as a husband, father, and as a human being. And I was very saddened to hear about his demise when I did. It really got to me. But he remains to be my childhood hero, and there is a lot to learn from this man's heroic actions throughout his life. It's my 65th this month. Hey, Brian. Well, happy birthday. We've got a lot of people, a lot of birthdays in September. And here is the top of descent, ladies and gentlemen. We are now descending towards Oslo. And we should be there in approximately 16 minutes or so. Rand, his wife also passed away from cancer, and it left their son an orphan at 15. Yes, Rand, that was very unfortunate. And the Christopher Reeve Foundation has done so much for the disadvantaged, even after their departure from this life. And I sure do pray for Christopher and his family. May his soul rest in peace. He's always going to be someone I look up to, and he remains to be my hero. He is always going to be my hero. Yes, it was the horse riding accident that actually crippled him. So he was paralyzed after the horse riding accident. But he continued. This guy, just to tell you how resolved this guy was, he actually did a movie on his wheelchair. And to me, that's just amazing. And I just watched all his movies. By the way, he did other movies other than Superman, but Superman was the movie that made him very famous in 1978. Superman the movie, and he really made the world believe a man can fly. And I remember when my dad took me to the movies the first time to watch Superman the movie. I went home and I dreamt about Superman. He was just. Yeah, it was a good movie, absolutely. My hero was Neil Armstrong. Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. So I think, guys, for us in the, in the aviation world, I think we all have role models that somehow flew to something to do with flight. And I think probably watching, the Superman movies as a kid has had an influence on my passion for flight, for my passion for aviation. And I remember there was a part where an aircraft, I think it was a 737-200 or 300 classic, when it lost one of engines and Superman went there for the rescue. Now, only that after Superman returns with this new guy, they've also made an aircraft. It was a NASA aircraft, a 747, where he saved it into a stadium, of course, something like that. So there's always an association between Superman and aircrafts and flight. Not so much aerodynamics or flight modeling, but it was definitely a lot of fun to watch a man flying. Yeah. I totally agree with you, Brian. Christopher was the best Superman. To me, he was Superman, period. All the rest of the guys just don't cut it, in my view. Alright, guys, we are now at 29,000 feet for 3,500. And we are looking good in terms of our altitude. Everything is looking good towards our approach into Oslo. And here is a quick look here at the outside. What a beautiful sight here on all the clouds over Norway. And as a reminder, guys, if you'd like to Sim Toolkit Pro, the link is provided in chat command. It is pinned. Go ahead and expand and click on the link to download Sim Toolkit Pro version 1, the best electronic flight bag software available today for flight simulation. It's got integration with SimBrief, Navigraph. It's got amazing tools as well to practice your approaches, VFR planning, IFR planning, real-world airline operations, real-world schedules to choose from. It's just really the Swiss knife for flight simulation. That's how I would categorize Sim Toolkit Pro version 1 now. Brilliant tool. Let's take a quick look at the FMC. Alright, so 236, we're going to slow down to about 220 in 15 nautical miles. All's looking good here. Excuse me. What is that? There we go. That's better. You have got to adore this wing view. Right, we're looking good. Continue the descent to 3,500 feet. Tick tack tick. Hello, my friend. Welcome aboard. Glad to have you with us. Do you have the HUD on this model? No, unfortunately, this one does not have the heads-up display. So we're going to do without it today. I've done, I think, the HUD on our San Antonio flight, which is, by the way, an excellent airport for Microsoft Flight Simulator. Yeah, definitely, Brian. The engine sounds, everything PMDG is just superb. And by the way, the manual, the pilot operating manual that comes with the PMDG is actually worth a read. It's got a lot of very valuable information about the operations of the aircraft, and there is a lot of customization for those of you who do not know. If you go to the menu and you go to the PMDG setup, then you go to the options, and then you go to simulations. You've got 7 pages of simulations here that you can customize the aircraft to your liking. Then we can go to performance. You've got a couple of pages here for performance, and then we can go to return. And if you go to the beg your pardon, let's go back and go back. All right, now if you go to the aircraft, if you go to the equipment, you have 16 pages of customizations that you can perform with this aircraft. And here's page 2, D-rate, company cost index, you know, your call-outs, EGPWS, which is the ground proximity warning system, ETOPS. Again, the FMS, you know, you can customize everything exactly to how you like, and this is all configured right now for this Norwegian flight, so everything is configured for this specific aircraft. But yeah, it's definitely amazing, all the details that they have on this PMDG. It really can be customized exactly to your liking, but you can also always select the proper airline configuration for the PMDG from the menu here. Right, we continue our descent, ladies and gentlemen, and we are now approximately 10 minutes away from Oslo. Yes, Rafi 1809, a tablet is planned for PMDG. We have Nito Milo. Nito Milo, welcome aboard to the Q8 Pilot channel. And we also have Peter, who has just subscribed to the channel. Welcome aboard, guys, and thank you for being part of the Q8 Pilot family here on YouTube. Have you tried flying to Kai-Tak Q8 on MSFS? I have done that, yes sir, and I very much enjoyed it. I can't say that I buttered the landing, but it was a lot of fun without a doubt. We're looking good. And we have with us Jonas. Jonas, welcome aboard to the Q8 Pilot channel. Do you fly on VATSIM? I fly, Jonas, on IVAO, which is kind of like VATSIM. But I prefer IVAO for a number of reasons. One being the VATSIM software, for some reason, causes issues on my machine. I've always had issues with their software, so I prefer IVAO. Do you know that Oslo has heated stands in winter? Really, Brian? Oh wow, no, I did not know that. Oh wow, that's cool. That's good to know. It's good info. So how does it work? How is the stand heated? Is it like the ground underneath the aircraft, or how is it heated? All right, just looking here over our flight plan. The transition altitude in Norway is 7,000 feet. We are looking good. It's strange seeing the clear rectangles. Do you recommend I buy the 737-800 if I have the 737-800 already? I didn't quite get you there. You have the 737-800, or do you mean that you have the 700 and you're looking for the 800? Sorry, Theodore, I didn't quite get you there. But here's the thing on PMDG. If you do not own any of the PMDGs and you're a casual, you're a casual simmer, then and you're really on a budget, I recommend that you get the 600, because the 600 is a lot cheaper than the 700 and the 800, which are priced the same. If you are, however, looking for, you're worried about the range of the aircraft, so you want the greater range of the aircraft and greater capacity, and you still want, high fidelity PMDG material, then I would recommend that you get the 800 and don't bother with the 600 or the 700. I do own all three of them, and there isn't any significant difference in the operation of those three aircraft, so they pretty much are operated in exactly the same way. They follow the same procedures. There are very subtle differences in terms of instrumentation and the options available in the FMC, but I would definitely recommend the 600 if you're on a budget, and I recommend the 800 if you do not own any of the PMDGs, and you're not on a budget. You're okay to make that investment. All right, let's set the barrel reference here to 1024. We are at 16,000 feet. Continue our descent, and what a lovely sight here of Norway. And if we just increase the range, as you can see here, this is our flight path into Oslo. So we are looking good. Altitude is good. IFR Captain, hello Q8, hope all is well, hope we get the tablet for the plane soon. I'm doing very well, thanks for asking, IFR Captain, and I definitely do share the same exact thoughts. Nonetheless, I will say this, is it normal that SimShulkit Pro takes so long to finish download? That is only normal if there is a heavy load on the server, so probably a lot of you guys are downloading it right now, and that's probably the reason. Normally it's doesn't take very long, no. And we have, ladies and gentlemen, with us a friend from Tennessee. Oh, welcome aboard, my friend. In fact, my uncle studied at the University of Martin at Tennessee, so he was at Martin, Tennessee for a number of years back in, I don't know, in the 80s maybe. And so it's always good to see somebody from Tennessee. I've personally been to Nashville on a business trip very long time ago. But yeah, always good to have somebody from Tennessee. Welcome aboard, my friend. Sorry, my writing fail. I mean, I have the 700. Do you recommend I buy the 800? Well, look, Theodore, my honest opinion is if you have the 700 or the 600, in terms of the... So if you are looking to learn how to operate the PMDG or the Boeing 737, there isn't really that big of a difference in the operation of those aircraft. Essentially, they are 737s. They operate in pretty much the same way. They just have different sizes, so they're different range and capacity. And maybe a few options in the FMC as well. But all in all, they are pretty much the same. So if you're really not looking for something very specific in the 800 model, I would say just stick with your 700. You should be fine. Of course, maybe the liveries will change. Available liveries are different, but there are just plenty of liveries for the 700, both realistic and fictitious. So I think you're good there. I don't think that you need the 800 if you already have the 700. You don't really need to make an additional investment. For me, I will tell you though, from my perspective, because I'm not on a budget, I have all 4 aircraft from PMDG, the DC-6 and the 737, 600, 7, and 800, and I don't regret the investment. I don't personally, I do not regret the investment. Does it fly different from the 600? Absolutely, it does fly different from the 600. The differences are probably less prominent between the 7 and the 800 models, but there's definitely a difference in the 600 in terms of the performance. So the takeoff speeds, landing speeds, the maximum takeoff fuel, maximum takeoff weight, landing weight, those will differ from the 3 variants. But like I said, unless you are specifically looking for something in terms of the operation, they're pretty much the same. Should I get MSFS and Phoenix A320 or P3D and the FS Labs? Lucas, my recommendation would be get the MSFS and Phoenix. Without a doubt. Yeah, the 600 is a pocket rocket. Yeah, it's a pretty fast aircraft. Can I close the sim toolkit window and then open the window back up? Yeah, you can do that. And what it will do is if you already have a flight plan, it will ask you if you want to restore the flight plan. So if for any reason you need to close it, then yeah, it would definitely, it will ask you, it will basically give you the option to restore the flight again. And if you have already created a flight plan and you don't want to restore the flight, so you want to start from the very beginning, you can always say do not restore, and then you can go to the flight planner, go to the advanced planner and select load from SimBrief, and it would load your flight plan from SimBrief in a completely new state, as if, you know, the flight plan hasn't been flown yet. QMN- hey, I flew on Norwegian not a while ago. Oh, how was that? I'm wondering, I've never flown on Norwegian, so I'm wondering what's the experience like and how good of an airline they are. All right, we're approaching 10,000 feet. Runway, the landing lights are on. Runway turn-off lights and taxi lights as well. Wing lights are on, and we are going to turn on the passenger and fasten seatbelt and non-smoking signs on as we approach 10,000 feet. Just look at that sight, ladies and gentlemen. That is a beautiful, beautiful wing view of the 738. A few clouds here in the vicinity, as we've earlier read in the METAR, scattered clouds. The cloud smoothing is outstanding in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Alright, so it looks like there is a restriction here of 900,000 feet, as you can see. And let me just go real quick right here. Alright, so we can see that there is a restriction, 220 knots, 900,000 feet, until we are at, let's see. So we will begin the descent again at Titla, which is the transition into Oslo, as you can see here. And 156 there. OSPAD 4000. We have a few more restrictions on the way before we reach the platform altitude of 3,500 feet. But we're going to remain at 900,000 for a while now. What's the difference between Volanta and Simultaneously Pro? Well, JJ King, essentially they are the same. There are some really nice features in Volanta and some really nice features in SimToolkit Pro. The nice features in Volanta, though, are premium. They're premium options, so you have to pay in order to get the premium services in Volanta, whereas in SimToolkit Pro, it's completely free of charge. Personally, I've been using SimToolkit Pro for a very long time now, and I clocked over, I don't know, 700 flights in SimToolkit Pro or so. So, to me, SimToolkit Pro is the better choice, but that's just me. I do like Volanta, don't get me wrong. I think it's a great app, and I paid, by the way, the full price, the premium price, and I will continue to pay it and support the developers there because I think it's a great app, and I'd like to see the product continue to develop and be used by the flight sim community. But in my view, SimToolkit Pro offers a lot more to us in the flight sim community. It's completely free, and Dan is a great guy, and he just really lives off the donations to support the development and the continued development of the product, and of course all the hosting fees. I can imagine that it probably costs him an arm and a leg to maintain the cloud services and the bandwidth and all that. But yeah, if I were to select between the two, SimToolkit Pro is the tool for me. It's the tool to go. It is the one I prefer and I use almost all the time here on the channel. How do I fix that? My clouds are pixelated. Theodore, there is a video that I did on removing film grain from the clouds in MSFS. If you just type in remove film grain MSFS, you should find my video on how to remove the film grain from your clouds, and that will take care of the pixelation. It should fix it for you. You will never regret SimToolkit Pro. It's just an amazing tool. Alright folks, we are now approaching Oslo, and we are at currently cruising at 900,000 feet. A few more minutes and we should touch down at the airport. If we go to the flight summary, let's go to the live map. And by the way, let me just very quickly bring this up to you. This is the live map in SimToolkit Pro, and you can just see this is just amazing. And this is us, by the way, right there. That's our flight. right there. The entire flight plan is shown on the map, and that's us. As you can see, we are 738. We are an X941 from Kastrup to Oslo. Our current altitude, speed, and current heading is also displayed. Just really brilliant. And you can change this, by the way. You can change the overlay. So if you don't want a satellite map, we can go to a dark map, for example, or you can go to a light map. Whatever you like, you can do. It shows all the weather information as well. Very sophisticated map for Microsoft for SimShulker Pro. And by the way, we can click here on MSFS airports, and it will display all the airports you have in the sim as well. It's got support for VATSIM, so you can show all the flights, area, ATC, and airport. I can remove those now, and to remove the clutter from the map. But yeah, that's us right there, and that's just the transition into our arrival. All right. Alright, so if we look here at our flight plan, here's the likes page, and in about 10 nautical miles we will begin the descent to the next restriction, which is 5,000 feet at 220 knots or so. So we're still looking good. It's going to be a nice approach into Oslo. Good evening to you, Igor Likas from Brazil. Welcome aboard, my friend. Glad to have you with us. SimShulker Pro is so good. I just got it, and I'm sure I will use it for every flight. Absolutely. Phoenix, darling, what is your favorite plane to fly? Well, I think I have a lot of favorites. I don't have one aircraft that is my favorite. I definitely enjoy flying the PMDG in Microsoft Flight Simulator. I'd say the two of my favorite aircraft, the airliners, is the PMDG 737, all variants, and the BAE 146 by Just Flight. Those are the airliners that I enjoy the most. In terms of the GA, I really like the Analog Caravan by Black Square, and I also like the Cessna Chancellor by Fly Simware. Those are probably my favorite general aviation aircraft in Microsoft Flight Simulator. But in X-Plane, there is a large range of aircraft that I love in X-Plane. There's just way too many to list here. And we have Storm Ritter Play 2.0. Hello, my friend. Welcome aboard. Glad to have you with us this evening. Excuse me. Right, here's the turn into Oslo, and we should be at the transition in just about less than a nautical mile. Here's the transition into. And now the aircraft should begin the descent, as you can see now, automatically to 5,000 feet, and we're going to maintain the current speed at 220 knots. I might adjust the rate of descent a little bit, and this is where vertical speed comes in handy. Basically, when you want to increase your rate of descent. So far we are good though, 16 nautical miles. At this rate of descent we should be okay. We should be clear the required altitude, but if not, we can always use vertical speed to increase the rate of descent. Alright, we are now getting close to our destination. We're going to set the auto brake to number 2, and I'm going to go ahead and set the engine mode selectors to continuous once more. And we are looking good. Let's bring up some lights here to the aircraft. We're going to add a little bit of background light, and also right on the top here and right there. I think that looks good. We can bring back our yoke, and we'll reset the view here for our landing, and we are now looking good. Excellent. Here is a look at the external view of this beautiful PMDG 737-800 in the Norwegian livery. It's been really a nice flight. And by the way, guys, our next flight is going to be in Thailand. We are going to be flying from Bangkok to the island of Phuket. I hope I said that correctly, but Ferdinand is with us to correct me if I, if I mispronounce it. But yeah, hopefully we'll be able to do that flight sometime midweek, and we are going to follow that by another flight in Japan. Yeah, we're going to try a little bit of variety in terms of the flight routes, and of course for our Thailand flights we're going to be using ATC. I'm not sure if I'm going to use IVAO or ATC Pro, but I will check the coverage of IVAO, and if they have coverage in that area, then we will use IVAO for ATC. We are looking good. Continue our descent to 3,500. We are at 6,600 feet. Now we're looking okay. And once we are at the transition, so if I look here, so this is our transition at Titla. Once we are at Titla, what we're going to do is we're going to switch the speed to manual speed, so we will manage the speed. And yeah, we are looking good here. Approximately 5 nautical miles before we reach the decel point here, as you can see. All right. What a beautiful sight. Just really lovely. Hey, Abkey, welcome aboard, my friend. Glad to have you with us. You're right in time for the landing. Alright, so here's what we're going to do now, folks. I am going to go to vertical speed. I'm going to reduce or increase the rate of descent, and I am going to reduce our speed to 170 knots. There we go, 170 knots is set. As you can see here, we are getting pretty close. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to extend the speed brakes to reduce our speed. And we should actually start lowering the gear now. All's looking good so far. Alright, let's go ahead and hit the approach button. Approach button is engaged. Speed check, flaps 1. Alright, let's begin the recording. And the issue is with the recording, with the PMDG, every time you do it, it will pause the sim and then bring it back. It was exactly at the moment we captured the localizer. There we go. We're back in business. And we have the runway in sight. Right, we can Arm the speed brake. Speed check, flaps 5. Alright, we're going to maintain the current speed and flap level until we are... Alright, so the needle started moving. Alright, we're going to start reducing our speed to 160 knots. Speed check, flaps 15, and landing gear going down. Looks like there is an aircraft that just took off. And let me just real quick check our final speed 151. Okay. Alright, we're going to go to our final approach speed of 151. Speed check. Flaps 30. Alright, landing lights are on, engine mode selector is 2, continuous speed brake is armed, auto brake on 2, flaps 30, landing gear is down, 3 greens, we are cleared to land, ladies and gentlemen. We are looking good. At 1,000 feet, AGL, we will disconnect the auto throttle and the autopilot, and we'll hand fly the aircraft. Beautiful approach into Oslo. Looks like there is an aircraft there on the runway. Alright, 1,000 feet. Auto throttle disengaged. And autopilot is disengaged. My aircraft. A little bit of crosswind there.
200. Sync rate 100. 50. 30. 20. 10.
And welcome to Oslo, ladies and gentlemen. Reversers are out. 80 knots. Manual braking. Beautiful. I am definitely using FS Realistic, yes sir. And we're going to go ahead and start the APU. Landing lights are off. Strobe off. And wing light can remain in the off position. Let me go ahead and stop the recording. And we can taxi to the runway. Let's refract our flaps. Lovely sounds as you retract the flaps there. Wow, you gotta love those sounds. Alright, we can call GSX now. And let's see, suitable parkings, none, so we have gates here. We'll go gate 46, and yes, we need the follow me truck. Norwegian Air Shuttle is fine, and handling by Norwegian Air Shuttle. So we're just gonna stop the aircraft here, wait for the shuttle to arrive, and once we are at the gate, we will. Someone know how to disable failures in the PMDG? Well, what sort of failures? Yeah, you can always perform the maintenance, so I don't have to fill hydraulics in all my liveries in PMDG. 1 minute and 3 seconds. So I do failures every now and then, yes, of course, when... So I don't... I think you can do it from the FMC menu. What is FS Realistic? Khalid, FS Realistic is an add-on that introduces camera shake inside the cockpit. And by the way, there is a profile. So if I go to FS Realistic, I have set my profile. You can find on the cloud. If you just search for Q8 pilot, you can find it. Here's the follow me truck. So let's go ahead and follow him. You can search for basically what my profile does is I turned off all the sounds because the PMDG sounds are, I think by default, are very good. I also turned off the breathing as well, because I think it's highly unrealistic. But all the other shakes, the touchdown effect from FS Realistic, I think is pretty good. So definitely keep it. So, and then I uploaded the profile there under Q8 Pilot. So if you were interested in the profile, you can download it there. By the way, this scenery of Oslo is freeware. and it's available on the flightsim.to website. The link, of course, is provided to you through chat command. You simply need to type exclamation ARR for arrival, and it should provide you with the link to the scenery. Very nice freeware airport, and a really good job by the developer. By the way, the landing rate was 232, so a bit firm, but okay, acceptable. 232 was the landing rate, and we landed at exactly 145 knots with 1.07 Gs. So a bit firm. And we'll do a replay of our landing as soon as we are parked at the gate. Thank you very much, friend. Appreciate it. Glad you enjoyed it. And really, I appreciate all the support you guys have been given to the channel. He's waiting for us. Very kind driver there. Right, here's the signal. Looks like we're going to go to the left here. Alright, parking brake is set, and we can kill the fuel. And the APU is on. Perfect. We can go to the APU bleed. You parked a bit too far. That's alright. Alright. Well, we are good here, and let's go ahead and take a look at the replay. So let's load the replay. All right, and let's see here. Hit play. Let's see. Hopefully, it will do the right thing. That's the runway ahead of us now. By the way, we can change the weather. How about we do this? How about that, folks? Let's do rain, yeah. We'll do one with rain, how's that? And then we'll do something else. By the way, if we go here, that's because we turned off the... so we can't have any of these, but we can turn on the landing lights for sure. And we can turn those lights. Yeah, I think we can have them now. Yeah, problem is with the replay, you have to configure the aircraft before you begin the replay. Well, we can do it in multiple configurations. They rush it. This is Oslo after all, so maybe one with snow? Sure, yeah, we'll do that. What a beautiful approach. Isn't that something, guys? Look at that view. Definitely the lighting in this sim is just outstanding. Alright, so what we can do, folks, is we'll bring the aircraft back right about here, just before landing. And what you can do with, because we have flight control replay, so we'll change the time a little bit. And let's see, what do you guys want to see? Snow? So we can definitely do that. And then we hit play. There we go. And that's Oslo with snow. Wow, looks absolutely incredible, guys. Just look at that. Look at the runway. Wow. Just brilliant. Look at that. Well, folks, this is pretty much it. And Kareem Ghunaim, best aviation content creator at all. By the way, can you give us a tip on landing a plane perfectly without hard landing? Practice, my friend Kareem. Practice makes perfect. I'll probably do more tutorials in X-Plane once X-Plane is, and maybe we'll start covering some of the stuff I covered previously as well on the channel. But it's been a lot of fun. Definitely, it's been a lot of fun with this stream, and I am really very thankful for having you guys here with me during this flight today from Kastrup, Denmark to Oslo, Norway. It's been real fun, guys, and I thoroughly enjoyed being with you this evening. This is pretty much it. Brings us really to the end of our live stream. And until next time, please take care of yourselves and each other, and I will see you all very soon. As a reminder, guys, our next flight is going to be in Thailand. We will be flying from Bangkok to Phuket in Thailand, and it's going to be a Nok Air flight in the 738. So stay tuned for that, and hopefully we'll do it either on IVAO or Pro ATC for extra immersion. Do stay safe until then, and I will see you guys very soon. Bye-bye for now.